Ava Singh. Such a pleasure to chat with you. We've had a lot of conversations on television where you were in the box and defending women in many cases, a lot of women's issues. And I know that a lot of people who follow me know you as that activist lawyer who's always fighting, but they don't know you personally. And I've honestly have not had the chance. We've known each other for a very long time, but I've not had the chance to really sit down and talk to you about who you are. And this is that conversation. And we're going to learn who you are by asking you about failure. Because I think, like we discussed, we learn so much from our failure, and it really informs our entire life. We make so many decisions based on what we have learned from our failure. And so that's what this conversation is about. So thank you for speaking with me. You've done a lot of tough things in your life. What is the hardest thing you've ever done?
That's a tough question because, yes, it's lovely to be on your show, Faye. You've done so well. I feel so proud that you are such a strong voice, even against all the adversity you stood up. So even when I was coming and I was thinking that, wow, I must tell you this. And yes, if you say what's the toughest time I've had or the toughest
thing you've done, the toughest project, the toughest case, the toughest decision you've made.
If I'll come to that, I had quit the civil services in 2012.
Yes.
And the first case I did was Salman Khan. And can you imagine, fresh as a lawyer wearing my gown, and I had to go to Bandra court, not the gown, it was the jacket, because lower courts you just wear a black jacket. And I went and the hit and run case.
Yes.
So that time only Nooria Haveliwala matter had happened, that girl who was driving on Marine Drive. Immediately she was arrested and punishment was meted out to her. And I said, wow, this girl, drunken driving, young girl, like whatever, is judgment is given, she's sent behind bars. And here you have Salman Khan, who's been there, done this drunken driving, hit and run, 15 years, nothing has happened. So I filed an intervention application and I said, this case needs to be heard because one person died, there were people who were injured. And so when I went to Bandra court, I am entering the court. First time, it was maybe the second time, and Salman Khan's battery of lawyers were there, all the A-listers. And outside I see Baba Siddiqui with all his placards, people having, placards, ki, we are with Salman Khan, this, that. So I think that I realized, my God, what have I done? I was an officer sitting in a room and I was calling the shots. And here suddenly there's a battery of lawyers saying this is contempt. How is she talking about this case? And you have people outside. So I think that was the day I realized that for a lawyer, it's victory or failure every day. So failure is something there, because when you fight for justice, one side has to get an adverse order. And that was the day I overcame my fear, that I have to speak in an open court, I have to fight for justice. And that was a tough day for me.
But tell me why you did it, because it's not like someone came to you saying, please take this case. You were not connected to that case at that time. You chose that you will take this up. Tell me why you chose to take it.
One was Nooria Haveliwala, because I read about it and I said, here, law has to be fair to all. So I am an avid news reader, so I read newspaper and I said this. And Salman Khan, someone had told me that the Bombay police was pro him. Even his blood sample, they had kept it in the police station for 2 days. So they had tried to help him. And it was in my mind that if the celebrities think that with money, power and contacts they can get away, no. I have left the government service. I was a class 1 civil servant. You must be seeing even today 10 lakh students appear every year for this exam, and I was leaving this coveted job. So I said, I have to be the voice of the voiceless, and I'm going to stand for the people who can't afford a lawyer, people who, because there were at a time some lawyers, some Bollywood said, oh, why were they sleeping on the pavement? So, those were the things. And Nooria Haveliwala was the trigger. Okay. As you said, I care for the girls and the women. I said, here is young girl who has no godfather. So she's put behind bars immediately. And Salman Khan's hit and run and the Bombay police role, I wanted to bring that both out, that in spite of the laws being strong, in spite of there being everything, if you can bribe and you can get a battery of lawyers. Of course, lawyers you are entitled to.
get, yes.
But see, when Salman got scot-free from Bombay High Court, Mumbai police came out with a circular saying the 18 points where they had botched up. And that is why he was acquitted. So I wanted, and also I think I wanted the message to go that drunken driving is a strict no-no. Today when it happens in Pune and people change the blood sample, so you can see that the rich, because Salman got scot-free, in the last stages they said that it was the driver who was driving. And here also, if you see in the Pune Porsche case, the grandfather tried to tell that driver that you take the onus on you that you were driving. So people have learned this wrong message that you can do drunken driving, you can kill people, but if you have the money, you can bribe the police, you can get away. So,
Would you say your experience on that case was a success or a failure?
that's the biggest failure. Because in the lower court, we managed to get 5 years punishment to meted out to Salman. The sessions court said no, one person has died, one was badly injured, and then he ran away. He did not take them to the hospital, all those blah, blah, blah. And so 5 years. But here it comes to the High Court. And High Court, even though it was the government pleader who was arguing, because I was the intervener in the sessions court. But in the High Court, it was the government pleader because my intervention was not there. I feel somewhere I failed. I failed the system there because had I been the person to argue or if I had a role, I would have seen to it that Salman did not go scot-free after killing someone. So I would call that a big failure. It may not be, people will say, no, it's not your failure because you were not the counsel, you were not arguing. But the very fact that I was not there, it does hurt me. That the message is gone. If you are rich and famous, you can go scot-free.
Did you at that point receive criticism that you're just doing this for the publicity? Because he's a famous man and, people will write about you as well.
See, that way I have done AIB roast in which I got FIRs against not one, 13 film stars. Be it Karan Johar, be it Deepika Padukone, be it Ranbir Kapoor. No, not Ranbir Kapoor, Ranbir Singh. See, I've forgotten the names also. So, it is not celebrity hunting. It is facts of a case. If a law is violated,